So I want to make sure that we honor and we get back to making our money. Amen. So I want to make sure that I got everything operational. Here comes another person. Mm-hmm. Hello, Aaliyah, say amen. Amen. That's what we're about. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So you're in the right place at the right time. Tonight we're going to be talking about unbootlegging your business. There are lots of ways that you can do that. And some people take pause that I use the word bootleg, but I think there's something that's in our vernacular and I think is appropriate a lot of times. So one thing I want you to do before you get started is that we as entrepreneurs are always learning. We're always paying attention. We're always looking. And so I feel like you should have a notebook in front of you. You can type. I'm just a writing type person. I always have a notebook in front of me. I always have something to write on. Just so you can, because you're going to have ideas. You're going to have inspirations. You're going to have homework, but it's something that you need to do and go straighten out for yourself. And we're not trying to become perfect today, but we want to be better than we were the day before. And before we even get into the material, there's really only one way to do business. So Walmart is no different than you. They have to do the same thing you do. They have to procure a product, find a place to place it for us to come, market to us, the same thing. So I want you to get in the mindset of learning about your craft, but also learning your business. And the great thing about America is that we go into Fortune 500 companies every day. So every day we go into Walmart, we see they're systematic, they're the same everywhere. You can go in Missouri and you know what a Walmart looks like. Structure, order. And so I want to make sure that one, you have a business mindset on, and two, you're not cutting yourself off saying, I'm not like them because they have they have millions and billions of dollars, but you see, they don't fuss if you come in there and buy a stick of gum, because a sale is a sale. So it's one product, one transaction at a time. So y'all ready? I can see y'all on the screen. You ready? Your mind right? You ready? So we're going to talk about ways to unbootleg your business. So who am I? Who is this chick talking to you? So my name is Eulica Kimber. And if you say it wrong, that's okay. I'm a certified public accountant. I own my own accounting firm, Firm Foundation Accounting Solutions. We'll talk a little bit about why I named it that in a minute. I'm an author. I think I'm up to my 4th book that's coming out soon on business, finance, accounting. My first book was actually the one that's on in the middle of your screen, and I co-wrote it with another CPA from North Carolina. Oh, we got some people coming in. Hold 1 second. I'm multitasking, y'all. The one that's in the center of your screen was the very first book that I was asked to co-author with another CPA from North Carolina. Her name is Lisa London, and we wrote using QuickBooks for churches and nonprofits. And it still sells today. It's on Amazon, and guess what? We make money in our sleep. We don't even have to sell that book. People Google and it sells. So I'm an author. I speak at conferences. I'm a business consultant / coach. It's actually 2 different functions. Sometimes consulting is doing the work for. Coaches is kind of giving you the instruction and you do it. Also, I'm a published author in, I've written for the AICPA and UpJourney and some other periodicals that ask for my opinion. Some people like to hear. My education, to be a CPA, one thing you have to have is you have to hold a bachelor's degree in accounting with a certain level of experience. And I went to the Virginia State University. Go Trojans. And I have an MBA from the College of William and Mary. So let me talk about, I told you I was going to talk to you about the name of my business. So this scripture came to me years ago. And that's why I'm saying you have to have that notebook in front of you. You have to be writing, because it's not always about the business. It might be an idea, it might be inspiration. But this scripture, it takes wisdom to build a house and understanding to set it on a firm foundation. I had that scripture for a year when I was still operating as Eulica Kimber CPA before I built created the LLC. And I was like, I want to know what I should name my business. And one day it just hit me, Firm Foundation Accounting Solutions. So even as you're thinking about what your business is, does it make sense? And it doesn't have to be a word that makes sense, because Amazon doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But it has to mean something to you as a business owner. So nothing is haphazard. You're putting your effort in every step of it. So do you know what Amazon means? To them, it's from A to Z, everything from A to Z. You know, it's an A and that arrow goes to the Z. It means something to them. It reminds them of what their mission, what their vision is. And they created that name when they were only selling books. So the reason why you're here, because you want to unbootleg your business, I'm assuming. But before we get started, we have to take care of some business. So as a CPA, which is different, I know there are folks that are tax preparers and they do other things, but CPAs, we fall into a special category because our words have power. So every Fortune 500 company within this country has to have audited financial statements. So our word actually moves the economy. So without a CPA's word, we could not have lending in this country. We couldn't make loans. We couldn't do grants. So I have to be very careful, according to the AICPA and the boards of accountancy, that I make it clear what our relationship is. So for you being here today, no accountant-client relationship has been formed. So you can't take what I say today and say, Eulica said, go put $1 million in XYZ. Neither my firm nor am I your accountant. And if we get into that relationship, it's going to be clearly stated, documented in a form of an engagement letter. And I'm presenting this information for your general business knowledge, and that I cannot, and this is something I really want to drive home to you guys, is that no one can give you blanket business information, business advice. So you can't walk up to me and say, hey, should I form an LLC? I don't know. I don't know what your business is. I don't know what your revenue is. I don't know. So be careful of people who are just telling you to do blanket things without looking at your financial information. And I am barred by the AICPA and the boards of accountancy for giving that kind of advice without taking the time to look in your financial records. And if you need something specific, you can hire me or go to your local, to your own accounting professional. Y'all, we good? Everybody's saying ready. Okay. So the question is, what is a bootleg business? I think we kind of know some things that a bootleg, so you can put in the chat. What's that? What are the attributes of a bootleg business? What does it look like? What does it make you feel like when you walk away from it? And so the aspiration that you have today is to not be a bootleg business. So I better answer that question by telling you the opposite of a bootleg business is a well-run business. So how you can screenshot, you can take pictures or whatever is on your screen. So, or you can write it down in your notebook. It's totally up to you. So how did I recognize a well-run business? So one, I remember we talked about Walmart and we talked about the man on the corner. It doesn't matter. A well-run business is organized internally and externally. So that means it provides a consistent customer experience. I keep talking about Walmart because I go there all the time. it's consistent. You can say, you know, they have cheap stuff, they whatever, but it's consistent. It's saying we know where the stuff is, we know to go to the front, go to the register, you know where to go when there's a return. Talking about creating systems. So one, if you want to unbootleg your business, you have to become organized. Customers should know what to expect. So I've been to hairdressers that I sign up for an 8 o'clock appointment. I don't get seen to 10. I don't get seen to 11. I ain't calling a bootleg. I'm just saying. The experience is not consistent. So also it has to be internally organized. That means if she needs if you need a financial statement, it needs to be organized. If you need to order inventory, it needs to be a systematic way to do that. It should not be inconsistent inconsistent product delivery. So if you deliver a pizza today, it's this big. If you deliver the pizza next week, it's bigger. So you don't think about when you go to these businesses, even the ones that we patronize, the nationally known chains, the reason why they were able to do that because they had consistency internally and externally. And you have to have that in place before you can even think about scaling or growing or going to another, let's make sure I don't have everybody waiting. Oh, I want to go hit my mouse. I'm human, y'all. Okay. So the next thing of how to recognize a well-run business, decisions are information-based. So they are based on complete and accurate financial and market information. So that means I don't walk up to you today and say, hey, you want to sell jewelry? And you say, hey, I'm in the jewelry business. That is not information-based decision-making. So if you, sorry about that. So decision-making is information-based. So you know when we go into a store like I keep talking about Walmart, Target, and all those, and you say, why is there Christmas stuff out here in October? Because their information told them this is what they have to do to be ready for Christmas. Understand? So they're making decisions based on past history, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. You can have storms, you can have transportation issues, you can have a pandemic where you can't get products and services in. So your information, you have to have good information to be able to make decisions. So that's a sign of a bootleg business, of an unbootleg business or well-run business. Also, and that leads into the third point, is that they're prepared for challenges and opportunities. So some businesses were not prepared for this pandemic, which we understand is something like we've never seen before. And you see them, some are filing bankruptcies. One of my favorite is New York & Company. People who know me, almost everything I wear come from New York & Company. So they're filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy because they were not prepared. Now, other companies, Walmart, they are cash rich. They operate by cash, so they can move. They can weather some storms better than that. Doesn't mean, and also in the malls, it's very high rent. Walmart, you know, they build their own buildings. So being prepared for challenges and opportunities is a sign of a well-run business. So I know we've all been to a local business and like, oh, I'm sorry, my supplier was out. Oh, I'm sorry, we couldn't get that part fixed. It's a sign that things are not the way they should be. Everybody good? Any comments? Price is never the same. Ooh, oh my goodness, disorganized without a clear vision, unorganized. I think y'all have visited some bootleg businesses. So did you know that 8 in 10 entrepreneurs who start a business fail within 18 months? And it's really predicated on some of the things that we talked about. So that's why I go back. It doesn't matter your size. You cannot get to be corporate size So by being disorganized, so you have to be faithful over the little things. So if you're selling jewelry or you're doing makeup or you're cutting grass, it has to be excellence at that area, at that level. So we're going to get into the 3 ways. Now there are many, many ways. I've even talked about a few already, but there are 3 ways to unbootleg your business. And the ones that we're going to talk about tonight is avoiding mixing business and personal funds. We'll talk about that. We talk about juggling too many business ventures at once. And we're going to talk about creating a business plan. So I want to see in the chat how many people are guilty. If you're just guilty of even one of those, I want you to write guilty. If you mix, like you buy groceries out of your business account, or you buy inventory from your personal checking account. Oh, look at it. Come to the altar. Look at them. Look at them, Lord. Guilty. Juggling too many businesses and no business plan. I'm not going to ask you who's guilty of what. So we're going to talk first about the number 1, and this is not a complete list. I said it already, but I just want to make sure these are things you can implement today. That's why I chose these 3. So number 1 is avoid mixing personal and business funds. And then I have a little sub bullet, fuzzy math. So you see 2 pockets on this dude, right? Because you should have a business pocket and you should have a personal pocket. And it should be clear when I pay you revenue, and I do the Cash App, we ain't gonna get into the Cash App for business. I'm just saying, we're not gonna even touch that. I'm not gonna ask who's using Cash App. Cash App me, because usually that's personal. So, and this is for money in and your money out. So this means you need to maintain separate bank accounts, banks, credit cards, loans, savings, whatever, for both your business and personal accounts. So, and if you want to pay yourself, you might write a check or you make a transfer, $100 or whatever it is, from your business to your personal account. Likewise, if you want to make a business contribution to your account, you put that money in your account. And then you do the expense within the business account. Because one thing that's very hard for us as accountants to set up a system is when we get an account that has all kinds of transactions in it. And I don't know about other accountants, but I charge extra for that. Because it's a lot of work for me to be like, so what you go to Walmart for? Oh, that was my grocery. It's too much. And remember, we're talking about creating internal and external organization so you can grow. So it's easier for an accountant when you say, here is my account, here's my statement, and everything in here is business related. So when I went to Staples, it was for the business. That makes things so much easier. Also, you cannot get a clear picture on whether your business is profitable. If you're steady pouring cash from, say, your full-time job, you don't know that your income is not covering your expenses of your business. It's not readily evident to you. You cannot run financial statements. And you should be be able to run a financial statement at a moment's notice. During talking about this COVID thing, talking about this COVID pandemic stuff, one of the things that the president and Congress did, they did a stimulus package. And it was called PPP, Payroll Protection something. But a lot of us, and you know who us is, color folk, we missed it because our stuff wasn't in order. You had to already have financial statements. You had to apply for that. And if it's hard, and 2, if you're doing payroll, you had to make sure that you have a separate account for that. So many times the kind of bootleg stuff that we kind of laugh about in our community hurts us. So if we're not registered or don't have a business license, aren't paying taxes, Included in your taxes is Social Security. So that means at the end of your career, that's extra money. Of course you got to pay it, but that's extra money that would have been in your Social Security account. So there's a cost to this kind of mixed thing. And we kind of think about it as we just look at the cash up front. But you should not be coming out of your pocket for your business expenses anyway. Your business expenses are covered by what you sell. So Walmart doesn't stress, and I'm going to say Walmart a million times, so just prepare your spirit for that. So Walmart don't stress if the light breaks, because we're going to pay for it. We sell enough to know that, remember on the previous slide, we talked about database decisions. We know we need about this X amount of dollars for maintenance. But I can't tell that if I've been paying part on this credit card, part on this credit. I can't tell clearly what my income and expenses are. Oh, so Ms. Lewis says, yeah, that's true. All mixed up money. Are you saying your money is mixed up? We're gonna get you straight. We're gonna get you straight. So your homework from this is to, one, if you do not have a business bank account, to go open one. And there are protections. So the bank needs to know that this is a business bank account. Yes, you got to pay higher fees, but there's protections. And also it's preparing for the high transactions. Somebody raise your hand and say high level of transactions. So it should not be like your paycheck that just comes once every 2 weeks. So the reason why a business bank account costs more, because it's more the bank has to do for you, because money coming in, money coming out. You should be making deposits every day or every couple of days. So, and it doesn't have to come out your pocket, because you're going to create a business plan that creates income to cover your expenses. So everybody, high level of transactions. Number two is don't juggle too many. I was checking time. Don't juggle too many business ventures at once. Lord have mercy. How can you be the barber? You do travel. You selling tea in the back. Now you're doing paparazzi. It's really hard to give your time and effort to so many streams. I'm not saying you can't do multiple things, but you have to get a firm foundation. You got to get the first thing unbootlegged, profitable, and then build on it. And I'm going to add this. This is not even in my notes. It just came to me. I don't understand what this thing is with us folks of color that think they're going to have a nonprofit for a business. What in the devil is that? We don't, I just want to tell y'all, we don't work well with things don't work in our favor on money scams. I'm just telling you. A nonprofit is not a business. And you don't set up a nonprofit so you don't have to pay taxes. A nonprofit is supposed to have a charitable community benefit. And that's why it's nonprofit. Because the purpose of a nonprofit is to take the weight off the government. So the church is doing things that the government cannot do. They're reaching the people. So that's what the non-taxable status is for. It's not for you to employ your children and to say, oh, this is really, I'm gonna get granted. It doesn't work. I'm just saying. I know we talk about Black Lives Matter when it comes to police, but also with financial things, that stuff don't work in our favor. It just don't work. Ask Wesley. Wesley was doing the same thing that other people were doing, but he got locked up for that stuff. Just saying. Who's saying preach? Who is Galaxy? So I just want to make sure that you're actually giving your time and attention to the 1 or 2 activities that you have in front of you, and not neglecting it and running to the next hot thing. And then that first business falls to the ground, not because it wasn't a good business, but because you did not give the time, the nurturing, the attention, spent the money on it, figured out who your customers are, what they need. With time comes excellence. So I want to make sure that before, so put in the chat, how many people are doing multiple unrelated businesses? You can put guilty or mercy, I don't know. Now, some businesses are easy to go together. So like if you plan weddings, then maybe you can do bouquets, or, you know, it makes sense because you're already there. But it would be hard for you to be the DJ and you're doing the decorations and you're driving the limo. And I know people like that. Do y'all know people like that? They're doing a lot of and you never really prosper. You never get to where you need to be financially doing it because you're spread too thin. Back to my Walmart example. I keep talking about these companies because when you walk in these stores, when you go on the website, I want you to be you're in learning mode and say, how did they get here? Walmart I told you they're a cash rich company. They don't have a lot of debt. They can get in any kind of business they want. You know, they could buy planes and do an airline. They could sell cars. But they focus. They know where their money come from. You understand what I'm saying? So if that's how they make their money, why would you think you're gonna run 10 businesses at the same time and be proud? It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Number 3, my favorite. Number 3 is UnBootleg businesses, or businesses that operate well, have a plan. Guess what y'all are in tonight? Guess what? Guess what? Y'all are in my business plan. In December, I didn't know when. I didn't know we were going to have a pandemic, so it kind of changed some things. But in December, I knew I was going to do a webinar. I needed to reach some more customers. I wanted to get my knowledge out there. So I started planning in December. It got delayed, but it happened. So mission and vision equals direction. Remember I showed y'all the scripture that it takes wisdom to build a house and understand to set it on a firm foundation. You have to have a vision before you can really go into business. So your vision can't be, oh, I want to make money. That's not a vision. Because if all you want to do is make money, just stay on your job. If all you need is a check, then just go to work. But it has to be something that talks about what you want your customer to walk away with. And that is the roadmap to success. I don't have in the course, in some of my offerings, I talk about the vision of Walmart. And the Walmart says, and I'm going from memory, so excuse me, they want to be the go-to retailer of choice, no matter how you want to shop, something like that. They're not saying I want to make $1 million. They're saying when you think about what you need and be like, where can I get this quick and know it's going to be there? Walmart said, I want to be the first one on your mind. So a business plan is something that very clearly defines who you are, what you sell, and who you serve. So some people, we start businesses, but we don't really think about who we serve, who your niche market is. I know for my business, I know in about 2 sentences if that person is my customer. I know I know usually my clients are mostly female. I do serve male, but they're mostly female entrepreneurs who have already started a business and they need some guidance. So I don't have to convince them. They're not struggling. They kind of know, they're kind of bumping around, but I know them. So as you're thinking about your business, take some time to think about the people who you serve. In the major corporations, you see they got commercials sometimes with Black people in it. They got commercials with Hispanic people in it because they're thinking about who they serve. It's not a hook or crook thing. They're saying, whatever flavor you are, we can serve you. So think about who your market is, who you're talking to, then learn what they need. And you're going to put that and you're going to wrap that in a mission and vision. It's going to give you direction. You're going to also find out what their pain points are. Pain is where your money is. Paper's still coming. Pain is where your money is. So the pain of my clients is they want organized businesses. They might want their finances in order. They might want financial statements. So if you're a wedding planner, the pain is somebody wants to get married without choking, the bridesmaids. They need somebody to come and order it. So write that down. What is the pain of my customer? And that's where your money is. How can I make life convenient for them? If you do lawn service, then the pain of your customers, they don't want to get out there and sweat and cut their own grass, and they don't want to have to pay $1 million for you to do it. They don't need to hire a full-time gardener. So your business plan lays out those things. Also, business plans are required by investors and lenders. They need to know, where are you going? And sometimes we're short-sighted and we aren't really thinking about it. We just think about, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this travel business. What is your end goal? Finally, it includes financial projections and goals. So I have a goal that I've set for 2020. Still didn't know there was going to be a pandemic, but it's going to be all right. I'm still further than where I was. Because I had some conferences scheduled I was supposed to speak at, and anyway, I'm working around it. But your business plan, so you should know how many, if you are a photographer, you should know how many shoots you want to do in 2020. You should have known that in November, December. If you own a child care business, you should have known how many kids you can serve, because that's telling you how many people you got to hire, what your marketing has to be like. So you cannot be in a successful business or an UnBootleg business and you have no goals. And if you come to me, if I meet you in person and we talk about your business, I'm going to ask you, what are your goals? And it can't be something crazy. You can't say, I'm going to have 1 million clients this year. You're doing it part-time. No, really, what can you really do and accomplish, and then push it a little bit. So is everybody good with the 3-way? Can somebody tell me which one of those 3 they are gonna focus on this week? The week is almost over, but you can start one of those today. You can open up a bank account. You can write down a plan, write down a goal. Okay. Oh, number 1. Okay. Oh, okay. She gonna separate some things. Somebody's gonna do a business plan. Very good. Very good. So you may be asking, how can I create a well-run business? Or how can I unbootleg my business? Guess what? You have come to the right place, because that is what I do. I build well-run businesses. I have a solution. So I have created a 10-day journey to set you up, or if you're already in business, to reset your business the right way. So one of my brands under my business is the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. And so I teach entrepreneurs. So I have an MBA, but you don't have to have an MBA. I can teach you what you need to know to help you grow your business. And that's what happens in the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. So I created a course. It's called Jumpstart Your Business in 10 Days. And it has 10 modules. So you can do it faster than 10 days, but I just say pace yourself, because it's homework after every day. So it's 10 lessons and bonus content, and it walks you through starting a business. So let's start with day 1. So you do a self-assessment. 1, that's where we look at ourselves and say, what am I skilled to do? What do I have resources to do? And what can I offer? For instance, I've given the example, I do not like being outside, even though I like to do some things outside. So I can't do a lawn business, because guess what? When it's hot, your grass is not going to get cut. But I see everyday business owners who get into businesses that don't match who they are, what their skill set is. If you can't add, you should probably not be in the accounting business, even though I've met some accountants that cannot add. True story. So day 2, we design, test, and refine your business concept. So even before, some activities are not a full-fledged business. So we're making sure that you actually have a real business concept. Day 3, we conduct market research. And actually, these are the steps that I go through with you when I do with my coaching clients one-on-one. So on day 4, look at what we do on day 4. We are going to write a mini business plan. So you're going to get the structure to do that because you already know what you can do. You talked about your concept. You talk market research. I know that 40% of businesses fail because there is no market for the service or product that they sell. How crazy is that? That's why you got people in your DMs saying, "Hey, can you buy this XYZ?" Ain't gonna name what it is because there's no market for it. So they got to beg people. So they get into a business that has no demand. Remember, I told you your money is where the pain is. So you need to look at what people need, want, desire to see what kind of business, and then match that with your skill set, and that's where your money is. We calculate startup costs. We also, and so that's the first half. First things first. Then the second half of the course is you choose a legal structure. So I don't even know. I'm gonna look. I want y'all to put that in the chat. How many people did their LLC from day 1? Like you ain't made a penny, and you got an LLC. You got a corporation. All the time I see it. Why? You don't even do. Oh, I see one person. Look at one soul. One soul has confessed. One soul has confessed. Because you don't even know how do you even know what to name it? You haven't even done the other stuff. And I mean, there's a place for it, but there's some work to do before you get there. We talk about naming your business and registering it. We talk about applying for tax IDs and your business license, opening a business bank account. We know that was one of the 3 bootleg situations. And then we talk about protecting your business. It's an online course, self-paced and outcome focused. So what's it worth? So if I were to do this stuff for you, my business planning services, market research starts at $1,200. That's starting. Business registration services start at $997. So for me to do it, it costs you some change. So what's included? So this is a screenshot of my Small Business Academy, the platform. So if you register, you get into it, and there's a course that is video lessons, so you get to see my face every day, all 10 days, and I'll be talking to you about each concept. And then there's a worksheet that leads you to the outcome for that day. So the worksheet for day 4 is the business plan. You see down in the bottom right, you see the worksheet that you'll download for that. So this is one of my successful clients. Her name is Toni and Whiston. She's the creative, and she has a website called Follow the Pink Squirrel. And she's one of the clients who I've worked with to get her business organized. One of the things that I specialize in is building systems that help for contracts, that help you get paid. So we create workflows. So we can create questionnaires to go on your website, so you can create the flow of handling customers from the initial contact to getting paid. So accounting is not just at the end. It's about creating the system of getting clients taken care of in a systematic and orderly way. So Toni's one of my great clients. I enjoy her. So I told you what it's worth, but the investment for the course is $197. So it's self-directed. You go through the course at your own pace. You can do all 10 lessons in one day if you choose, or you can do it over 7 days, but you have lifetime access to the course. So you can always come back. So if you start a business or you get off track down the road and you want to come back, you can do that. Or if you want to start a second business, it's time for you to grow. You can go back and do another business plan. You can because your business plan should be updated every year. So you can go back and get the worksheets and do that. So I come back. So come back to my why. and why I want to make it as affordable as possible. Because my mission is to the African American community. I do serve others. I have clients and written articles and spoke at conferences for other races. But I want my people to understand that it takes wisdom to build a house and understanding to set it on a firm foundation. So it is my goal to make sure that I get that information and knowledge into the hands of as many people as possible. Because we really, really are people of overcomers. Nobody can hustle like we can. But I just want those businesses to come from under the table to Front Street. Actually, when I was in my MBA program, that was the thesis that I wrote about. It talks about businesses in the shadow economy, and that my mission. So actually, the Plan to Prosper Business Academy was born out of my MBA program. So I wanted to create a vehicle to make sure that I was providing that information. So if you want to sign up today, you can take out your phone right now and scan the block. I'm going to do it with you to make sure it's working. And also, you can I'm getting my camera out. So if you scan the block, you'll go straight to the registration page. It might take a minute if we're all doing it at once. And the little registration, can you see? The registration page will come up. And if you enter code SAVE100, you'll save $100, and the whole course is $97. That's your investment to invest in your business, to unbootleg your business. So also, let me show you Propel. This book came out last year. I wrote one of the chapters in it, and it's called Propel, the Essential Handbook for Emerging Women in Business and Leadership. And so I wrote a chapter, and it goes in more in detail in some of the principles that I teach to my clients. But if you register tonight before midnight, it's 11:59 East Coast time. I think everybody on here is on East Coast. You might not be, but we're talking East Coast time, so we won't be technical, and you won't be fussing at me later. But if you sign up tonight with a $97 code, you get a free signed copy. Look, it's already signed. I come with receipts. See, it's signed in there. So you get a signed copy of my book, of this one, the Propel book. So I'm looking in the chat. Do you have any questions? And that's the scan thing if you want to scan it. So if you have any questions, if it's generally about, I was trying to scan and the code did not scan. Okay, I can send, that's Liz Spence. Okay. In the process of deciding on a name. Okay. Okay, so the course kind of walks you, it's a worksheet on name and vision of the business plan. Okay. Oh, she's always must have done it already. Okay. Oh, very good. So if that's something you want to, if you have questions, I'm going to be hanging out here for a little bit. We got time, right? Oh yeah, we do. So if you have questions about business, can't scan, I'll send you the link. Also, if you register for this course, the link is going to come to you through Kajabi. That's the platform I use for the courses and the academy, and they'll come to you. Miss Lewis, did you have any questions? Thank you, Miss Lewis. So I got Tammy and I got Liz. Make sure y'all get the link. But check your email when this is over. You should have the link. Tammy and Liz could not scan. So check your email after this is over and let me know. Can you help with the merger of different services into one business? So one business can have multiple facets and multiple services. Go back to the favorite store, Walmart. So they have an auto center. They do have a photo thing. Some of them have hair shops. Some of them, have different things. You can have multiple, but that goes back to your business plan. Writing down, going back to your mission and vision. What are you trying to accomplish and what do you want the customer to walk away with? That tells you what kind of services they need. for instance, if you're selling clothing, it's it's easy to add jewelry. You understand what I'm saying? So, I want my clients to be the flyest people on the street. Here's the clothes, but also here's another service that's jewelry that does it for. So if you're doing financial planning, you can also add taxation services. If you can't do it yourself, you can subcontract with somebody else. But it goes back to the plan. I was reading another question. It goes back to the business plan and what you want, your mission and vision. What do you want your customer to walk away with? I think a lot of issues I see with some of the business owners, especially those that are in trouble. And some business owners are very stubborn. Like, they want to sell cars, and you can't convince them or nothing else. I'm like, well, it's CarMax that kind of has that, unless you're doing something different and special, so they're kind of hell bent on whatever their vision is. And they really don't have an allegiance to the customer. Some folks I talk to, and I'm still answering the question about merging the business, because the customer is who tells you what you need. I know you think you quitting your job so you can get rid of your boss. You about to get more bosses. Every customer is your boss. I don't trust a business owner who don't want to work for nobody. I don't trust you, because you're going to flake out when it's not comfortable for you, when it's not convenient, when it costs too much. You're going to bail at some point. So to me, I still work a full-time job. I'm an excellent employee because I'm an entrepreneur, because I respect and honor my employer, their resources, and I'm blessed in the result of that. So really, if you're an entrepreneur, you should be a better employee. But it goes back to the question about merging services, is that your customer tells you what they need. So you might be, let's say you're cutting grass, because I'm thinking about our old guy that did our lawn service. And I was like, well, so do you shovel snow? Guess what he had on his truck that winter? Snow blades, because he can't cut grass in the winter, but he already got the yards, right? He already got people. Everybody got a driveway. Everybody needs a shovel. Your customers will tell you what you need. Their pains will tell you. So if it's something that needs to go together, they will let you, and you're not going to do it when the first person does it. Because remember, we're making database decisions. So, but you're going to explore it. Remember, I said, y'all going to have your notebook. You're going to write down, let me look into the snow. How much is a snow blade cost? How many yards I got to count that I can be able to pay for this cash and not put it on a credit card? So your customers are directing you. So let me look at this question. Oh, will you be sending a recording of this workshop? Yes, I will be. To everyone that's registered. If I don't, hopefully everybody got their emails. So some people are getting their emails, some are not. I'm not sure what's up with that. Oh, it's Kirsten. Oh, it was referred by Shakina. Thank you, Shakina. She's a photographer. Oh, while I'm talking, put in the chat what your business is. You can put your website or whatever while I'm answering questions. So you might get some business in here. Come on in the room. So Miss Spencer saying she has an LLC with other doing business as. Do I need just separate business plans? It depends on if those businesses are complementary to go into one business plan. Oh yes, the candy lady. Second question, do you recommending using Cash App? I'll ask you this, do Walmart use Cash App? I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm being, we're talking about, we are learning from the best. So when you go to Walmart, when you go to even Hardee's, come on, you can swipe your card and walk away. Because Cash App means I got to tell you, $, and I have a Cash App for personal, but it's an extra, for me, that's not cool. I don't like it. So I think it should be, like for instance, this thing that you scanned, y'all saw how nice that was. It's a workflow. I don't have to give you another code and be like, oh no, it's Eulica with 2 L's. You don't have to do that. It needs to be a smooth transaction. So the other thing about the pain of your client, is I don't want, so if Walmart is there for my convenience, they're gonna make it as easy as possible to pay. I should not be running you down. I'm like, oh, you don't take Visa, but you take MasterCard. You don't have time for that. And so going back to my old, to my former lawn guy, the thing I loved about him is that I never had to see him. Never had to see him. I knew he had been there, one, because the grass would be cut, but two, he's gonna send me a PayPal business invoice to my text. I was gonna click it and pay. So, because remember, we're always thinking from the perspective of the client. What makes it easy for them to get in and out of that store? What makes it easy? So, okay, let me shout out some of these. So, okay, the candy lady, she does sweets buffets, gift baskets, boxes. We have, is that Sharina Afi? You know, I'm blind, I wear glasses. She says sewing and crafting, personalized gifts designed with you in mind. Oh, she put her Facebook. Okay, girl. A valid point. She's gonna make the change. Okay, Miss Spencer's upgrading. Everybody say, UnBootleg. I know I'm rough, but I say it all in love. I really do. Oh, consulting and accounting. Okay. A fellow number chick. Oh, House of A Financial. She's on Instagram and Facebook. She does. She provides financial. How am I saying it? Financial education. That's the word I was looking for. Miss Lewis does transparency lifestyle, dig deeper than you ever have. She has a website there. Check out these things. Or Shakina is Helena Photography. She's a photographer. Oh, okay. And I didn't answer. I missed this question. At what point should you establish an LLC or other legal entity? You mentioned earlier not doing it day one. That is something that you probably need to talk to a tax professional or accounting professional as myself about it, because it's not a cut and dry answer. Because it might not even need to be an LLC. It depends on the size of your entity. If you want to pay yourself as an employee, yeah, because it's a lot of dead LLCs. If you go on the state corporation commission, look at how many LLCs just sitting there. So, because people create the LLC before they build the business, and then when it goes away, your LLC just sitting there. One, you need to make sure you have a viable business that's going to sustain itself. And one, you're available to serve that business, to build it into something. So I can't give you a set date because that doesn't happen. It depends on your business. But one, I would say before you worry about that, make sure you have a product or service that people want and are paying for. And even the IRS doesn't expect you to they even have hobby rules. So they don't expect on day one that this is a full-fledged business. They know you're getting started in the beginning. So I would just say that kind of commitment needs to be put into writing a business plan, figuring out a product mix, what you're serving people, how much it costs, what your startup costs. To me, that energy needs to go in that. Sometimes we want to do a checklist. Yes, I have my LLC. Yes, I have my business license, but we don't put that kind of energy or thought into the actual building the business. Because Walmart's company is not called Walmart Incorporated. We don't even know. It doesn't even matter. It might be Walmart Properties. It doesn't even matter. It's not at the forefront of their mind. It's just legal stuff for the back end to run smoothly. The point of their business every day is to make sure they're open for us on time, consistently, with products and services that we need. So I'm not saying the LLC is not important. Real Talk University, that's Nathaniel. a community-based inclusion and wellness group. I love it. So Jennifer says, in order to do business, do you have to be licensed immediately? First you have to have a business. So if you have made nary dollar, I would say no. Figure out what your business is. Is it something that you can do? Because if not, you just spent money for nothing. So I'm not telling you don't need a business license. I'm just saying that's not at the forefront of your mind, is to figure out how you're going to make money. Because when you go get your business, if you're in the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's based on gross receipts. I don't know how many of y'all in Virginia. I'm in Virginia. But it's based on gross receipts. So you need to figure out how you're going to make money for the license that you're going to get. So I just say, it's not that it's not important, but it's important to build the business concept and plan first. Because then you know. What I was saying, wait, hold up. No formal name yet, but I write stuff for people, grants, marketing. No name yet. Could we come up with a name for Miss Jordan tonight? I don't know. Deep Sea Investment Group. Oh, Deep Sea Investment Group teaches about investing. And they also teach classes on investing 101 in a very understandable and unintimidating way. Because it's some crazy stuff in these streets about investments that are not investments. I branded on that a little bit on my Facebook feed, that investments, even stocks and bonds on the exchanges, there has to be a business transaction that supports that income and that value. So no matter what business you get into or somebody gives you an opportunity, you need to ask them, what is the income generating activity that supports your value? Y'all got that? So even stocks and bonds, even the sale of property, is the exchange of property or a product or service for cash. If that's not involved, it is not an investment. Oh, she said to repeat that again. So every investment that you do, even if it's the entire economy is based, the U.S. economy and global economy at that, is based on the exchange of goods and services for money or another asset. So even when you're investing in a company like Nike, we invest in Nike not because they're nice, because they exchange shoes for cash. There has to be a business transaction that supports the value of the business. So if somebody's telling you some pyramid thing, you gotta add money and bring 2 people, blah, blah, blah. What's the exchange? What's the business? What's the business? Nathaniel says, Nathaniel, why is your question so long? Okay, it says, what about grants and non-traditional profit channels? B2B instead of B2C? Yes. I'm interested in finding unique pricing models so that primary customers do not have to bear all the weight. Business partnership models, grants, and my business covered insurance plan. Yes. So some businesses, I don't know if I can answer that specifically, and that's not something that I'm into, but so what he's saying, B2B, so my business is to other businesses. So you can have a business to customer. I think that's what he's saying. Oh, Corice, somebody in the room, somebody has named your business, child. Corice Creates. This is what happens when entrepreneurs get together, people. It should be revelation and prosper. But some businesses are business to business. So I don't have a product or service to sell a customer. Like the candy lady, she's looking for an end customer. I am not. I'm looking for another business to serve. So I don't know if I have an answer to that, Nathaniel, but I will do some research for you and get back to you. So my time is running up, and I want to let you back to your income generating activities. But I want to know if this has helped you. Oh, look. So Carice, what is Carice still in the room? I want to know what she thinks about. So how do you feel about that? Are you writing it in your notebook? Carice creates. I love it. And your corporate name or LLC doesn't have to be your operation name. Oh, she got it on paper. All right, all right. So I'm signing off. If you have any questions, I'm on social media. I'm Eulica Kimber CPA. My website has been on every slide of this deck, and you can reach out to me. Let me know if you need anything. I also do speaking event. I've done like 2 virtual conferences this year. So I speak on UnBootleg Your Business. If you go to my website, you'll see the other topics I do. I write. I enjoy entrepreneurship. And I just believe that there's so much wealth in our community that is untapped. A lot of times I think we undersell ourselves, we underprice ourselves, and we shoot low. We only want to sell to us. And I understand people are doing the blackout thing and we're not going. I don't want all my money to come from Black people. I want my money to come from people with green in their pocket. So I didn't support that. I'm sorry. I went to Chick-fil-A every day. I'm sorry. Because then we become like the people that we're talking about. We're supposed to become in one economy. So that is my goal, is that we become prosperous together. And we can't just do that, just switching money back and forth between us. You balling when you got folks of different colors sending you money like I do. So create an excellence. I hope you're signing up for the course. If you sign up for the course, let me know. If you're interested, let me know. The $97 price is going to go on until the 20th, and then it's going to $197. So you guys get the first crack at it. And the folks who sign up tonight get the signed copy of the book. But after that, it's going to $197, and that is all I have. I love you guys. I will send you an email out probably in the next day or so with the follow-up, also with the video. But give me a chance to eat and rest myself. All right, I'm hanging up. I love you guys. Be good. And what? Be prosperous. Y'all got that? Okay, good night.